First of all, you don't know me.
We're all about that high school drama girl, all about them high school queens. We'll take you for a ride in our comic girl, cheering for the right team. Drama queens, smart girl, rough girl, fashion but you're tough girl. You could sit with us, girl. Drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens. Hello, friends. We are back. I can't believe how fast season 6 is going. We are on season 6, episode 14, A Hand to Take Hold of the Scene, which originally aired January 12th, 2009. Guys.
Oh my God. What a weird year 2009 was.
It was bizarre.
It's weird watching this episode because we filmed this months and months. We probably filmed this, October, November? And then it airs in January. And so by the time I was pregnant, these episodes with Peyton becoming pregnant were starting to air. Whoa. And everyone thought that the pregnancy on TV was the same as my pregnancy in real life, only they had happened 6 months apart. And so it was confusing even for me because I was like, I don't know, what's real life anymore?
Whoa.
Weird. Yeah, 2009. Big year.
Well, give them the synopsis, kids.
As Peyton and Lucas's news spreads, Marvin and Millicent struggle to remain a couple, and Brooke tries to suss out Julian's intentions. Peyton and Lucas babysit Jamie and Andre, while Haley and Nathan double date with Chase and Mia. It's a pretty straightforward episode. It's very straightforward. Nothing too complicated here.
It was sweet. It was a very, very sweet episode. It was fun to, work with one of our favorites from the writer's room, Mike Daniels, who directed.
So actually, Mike didn't direct. It's in here in the notes incorrectly because I texted him last night. Yeah. So it's flipped around. So Chad directed this one. Oh. And Mike wrote it.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Because I remember Chad having to direct us in his scenes and it being it was. I liked this episode. I had a ton of fun on this episode.
Yeah, I did too.
It was a fun one. There was a lot of kid stuff, a lot of the karaoke and the basketball Papa Shot thing was really fun. And it just felt like everybody was, first dates and it felt fun.
It felt kind of sparkly. And it was nice to have some happiness.
Everyone's having fun except for the actual teenagers who are going through it. Because this episode opens up with police tape being pulled from Jack's house.
Yeah.
And these kids dealing with CPS looking for them. And it's so serious. And then all the grown-ups in town are
having so much fun.
We're having a great time, kids. Don't worry, it gets better.
Yeah, hang in there.
On that note, Jack, played by Evan Peters is, what a phenomenal actor. And I think we knew he was different and special back then. And obviously to see his body of work now is crazy. But at the time it was he was the serious kid. We had all this goofy stuff going on. And then there was a real thespian on set.
Mm-hmm. But he and Ashley were having a lot of fun. They were goofing around and making friends. The two of them together on screen was like lightning in a bottle, I thought. They both were so talented. Such good listeners, which is unusual for that age. Yeah, whoever found them and brought them into the show had a good eye for that.
Is he our age? How old is he?
No.
He's younger than us. Not by a ton, but I thought that they played that angst and fear in such an honest way. And what was actually really fun in this episode was getting to see her as Sam getting more comfortable and laughing and having a good time and being in this one space where she had healthy relationships. And then on the sort of other end of the seesaw, her friend is sinking and she's been there and she just doesn't know what to do. Yeah. She's not equipped to help him because she's just a kid. And I really loved the dynamic. I liked that we got to see her range, and I love watching her.
It's easy to forget that she's a kid because when Julian shows up with the coffee and this child has just been duct taped in a closet, right? This child has just escaped a murderer. And he says to her, he's like, hey, Jack probably needs you, dude. Puts it on the kid to fix this. I'm like, Julian, shut the up. Get out of this apartment.
Also, the fact that she's just so chill. Like, she shows up at the door, her hair's a mess, and she's like, yeah, whatever, making snarky comments again. All is well.
Yeah. It
Good
is
for
really
her.
interesting. And like, I like their dynamic though, because he
Yeah.
kind of teases her like kid sister. And every time he calls her name, it's different. Like, he says, hey,
Samson.
Sammy. And then he's like, bye, Samson. And he's ruffling her hair. And it's like, it's so sweet.
Well, it's the polar opposite of Owen, who was like,
Yeah, just gonna say.
we gotta go looking for her. Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm kind of busy right now. I think I have Pop-Tarts in the toaster. Yeah. Like, I think it's so nice to see Julian, the way that he is with Sam, that effortless banter. It's exactly what Brooke needs. And the chemistry with y'all is really great. Like, really great on screen.
Yeah. Yeah, it works. There really is like a little sparkle in that whole dynamic for Brooke and Julian, for Brooke and Julian and Sam. Like, their energy is really cute. And even the way it kind of flips later in the diner when it's Julian and Sam and then Julian, Sam, and Peyton. And it's like, it all just feels really exciting and it's fun to have that.
He likes hanging out with chicks, man. Like, he's just like, yeah, I'll hang out in the hen house. That's cool. I love that, like, no one raises a question like, really, we're going to get into costumes before casting? Like, we literally... like, why are we doing costumes before we've done anything else? Loved
there's
it.
been no
Loved
scouting.
it.
I don't even know if the script's done. They're really in a rush to make this movie.
No, I just really got to work on these costumes.
Costumes.
That's going to be the euphemism from now on. Like, oh, you guys doing a costume meeting?
Yeah.
Cool.
It was great when he showed up at the door on the phone with arms full of binders, and you were all dressed up, gussied up. I was hoping that was the excuse you were going to make up. Like, oh yeah, I just came from
Something.
How many times have you done that in real life?
It's very like, oh, this old thing.
Oh, this is nothing. Guys.
Yeah.
This is not for you. Trust me.
No, I had a meeting today. Yeah, I think let's just focus on the Brooke and Julian of it right now instead of doing this chronologically, because I enjoyed it so much because I felt like a voyeur. I felt like I was watching something I wasn't supposed to see. And I loved that. It was just so like, oh no, here they go. And it was,
I know.
yeah, felt like a roller coaster of romance.
It also just felt nice. Like, I think the thing I was struck by was I thought they wrote it really well for us. And I thought that you finally had a character like Brooke matched with somebody who like makes sense for her.
Yes.
Another creative, not
Yeah.
exactly in her industry, but like the tension of Brooke and Owen having chemistry, but like nothing in common always made it feel like it wasn't really going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think when you realize that you're watching something and you know it's just not going to work out, it's harder to root for.
Yeah.
And there's something really sweet in this dynamic. And even with all the little things, like I love when I get to play Brooke spinning out and her talking through the logic out loud, trying to figure out what it means and what's going on. And is Sam right? And does it mean anything? And should I get the beer or should I get the wine? No, wine is for sex.
I
And the thing
felt that in my bones.
Yeah. And then he walks in with wine and it's like, oh, okay.
Cool.
Like I just was like, oh, this feels like real and authentic to me. This is the thing where you go, oh yeah, I've had butterflies like that. How fun.
Yes. He's a good counterpart for her because he's also kind of doing that at the end, the talking to himself, talking him through it. What's it going to look like?
Yeah.
It was gentler because y'all were about to kiss, but I do see an interesting counterpart. It's almost like being around Brooke frees Julian up a bit to be who he really wants to be, who he feels in his skin that he is. And he probably has all these expectations on him in LA and in the life that he has with his dad and in the industry to be able to be out of town with this fabulous, beautiful, successful, smart, creative woman. It seems like a really great fit.
Yeah.
I love that conversation you guys had about your parents. you know, because you and Nathan have had similar conversations. We keep talking about like the Brooke, Nathan, abandoned kid syndrome. And when you meet this shiny new thing who just really wants to get vulnerable, tell me all your trauma.
Totally. It's like, oh, you have complex family? Me too.
Yeah.
And I think they were really smart in the way that they showed everybody kind of struggling with the dynamic. And then they gave him that line, which is really vulnerable, but like doesn't go too far, where he says, like, of course he read the book because of Peyton, but he related to it because of Brooke.
Girl, I wrote that down.
I did too. I was like, oh yeah, that's the thing. And I think there's something undeniable, like you're saying, about the rare similarity. Like for Brooke and Nathan and their whole high school career, like that's a platonic friendship that two people can identify each other in. But to feel seen and identified with your partner, to be with someone who, like, in their existence heals something in your life and theirs, like that's a big deal. And that is what I think we see Brooke and Julian kind of on the precipice of.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it feels special.
Because they validate all of the things that you have struggled with. And, you know, your friends are not going to have the same lived experience as you. Your family is oftentimes going to deny what you're feeling because it's like, everything was great. Why are you upset? You know, when you find another person that is like, oh no, I did that exact same path and it pisses me off too. You just get to take like a big sigh and let it all go. Then it's like, oh, I'm not crazy. Like, cool. It doesn't just happen to me. It's happened to this other person too. I love it. Is Julian an only child too?
Yes.
I feel like he is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Telling you, man, that birth order thing, that means something. You guys, you look really nice kissing. It looked nice. Like, it was like gentle. It was like, it was nice.
It was sweet.
Sweet isn't the word I was going to use.
You don't think? I think the whole thing feels so sweet and vulnerable.
It's sexy.
It was sexy.
You're both blushing. You guys, are you okay?
It was a good kiss. I was like,
it was really good. No, he took his time.
Yeah, it was good. I do, however, wish we drew it out a little bit more. Like, I think it would have been nice for a couple more episodes to build that tension, being stuck alone with each other, different scenarios, and then to finally, it was only like a 30-minute buildup. It would have been nice to have a few episodes, but either way, it made me happy. I liked it.
I think everybody liked it.
It feels very, very cutie. And I love that, like, to kind of bring it back around to the beginning, especially with Ashley, I love that she serves as this sort of device to call it out. And you see this teenager having fun, with these older women who are her mentors and her sort of keepers. Like, when you come in and she's like, Julian's hot for Brooke. And I'm like, no, he's not. And she's like, yes, he is. And then she's saying it through the door all the while, like leaving the room being like, whatever this Brooke Peyton lesbian love weird thing is, I'm out. Yes. Like,
loved it.
She just calls everything like she sees it, and it gives us humor that takes out any awkwardness, which is nice because, like, Brooke and Peyton have had to have so much awkwardness about men.
Ugh.
And to have it be funny for us is such a relief. And I actually think it adds to why we get to root for Brooke and Julian, because Peyton's rooting for Brooke and Julian.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Made me so happy to see that scene because we've had to do so much like petty girl fight stuff on our show, whether, it's between all three of us or 2 against 1, like any of that stuff. And to see Peyton come in, find out this information about Brooke and Julian, not really care, oh, okay. She's not, like when our characters mask that they're really bothered by something you know, like, oh no, I'm happy, I swear. She's not worried at all, and instead offers up this apology with like I'm pregnant. I know you're the one that really wanted the baby, so I don't want to make it weird for you, and I'm just going to say the thing that's awkward. Like, it was so communicative, which our characters have struggled with. And I liked that. I don't know. I just liked it. Thanks, Mike Daniels. You did a great job. I'm really happy you married our friend. You're great.
It's actually a really smart device to have Sam be bouncing around. She's propelling the storyline forward. We don't have to take the time to watch all of these conversations unfolding because she's propelling it forward with Julian and Peyton and with Brooke and Peyton. And same thing with Haley and Lucas too. Like, it's just let's just get it out. We don't need to have all these. We don't just see. We have to watch everybody find out, because we know all these characters well enough to know that it would be weird if somebody just walked into a room and was like, oh yeah, I heard. But you got to keep it moving. So it was a really smart device.
Yeah. And it was so upbeat. Like, I don't want to, hit the nail on the head too many times, but I just love how much fun everyone's having.
Yeah.
Like Joy, when Haley walks into Lucas's and like catches him, it made me laugh out loud. Like, that is so sweet. Yeah. She wasn't supposed to tell anybody. She didn't, but I gotcha. Like, it's just so fun. And it's that kind of like familiarity and good time energy that I think when we get to do it as actors on this show, God, it just plays so well. And it's like, what a relief.
Yeah. Mike told me last night that he wrote this episode when he was sick in bed with the flu, and he wrote it in 2 days.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
Good for him. Just showing off.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
that old thing? Yeah. This old dress?
The fact that he could just do that in his sleep, like pretty much literally in his sleep.
Haley was spicy this episode. Haley was having a great time this episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you having a great time in real life? Like, what was going on?
No, I was still in a cult, so my life was pretty miserable. But I was like,
but I had a pretty dress.
You're like, but I was having fun at work on this day.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing is actually this was right around the time when I was starting to feel personally like really numb and trapped and just didn't really have any personal outlet. And so when I would go to work, to be able to go to set and dive into a character and just escape and be Haley, it's like it was a totally unhealthy form of escaping my life. But it's what I had.
You weren't drinking or doing drugs. You were playing Haley,
I'm also like, wait a second, Joy. Are you saying that the relentlessness of our TV schedule taught you how to disassociate? Ding, 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 ding.
Yep. Flip it on, flip it off.
You and me both, sister. Here we go. You're like, me, the performer. Hello.
Yep.
Keep them all happy. But I will say, like, I wonder, too, if that's part of what's so palpable. Like, this whole double date that we watch Haley and Nathan and Chase and Mia on the whole time. I mean, you said it, Hilarie. It's, like, so obvious that you're having so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're not having fun in your life, and you get like a really good play day on set. Because look, most of the time, like a 16, 17-hour day on set, it's great, but it's work. Like by the end of the day, it's a slog. But when you get a day that really feels like you've gone like to the circus or the carnival, how fun. And like, I don't know, I wonder if that's like a little extra energy that we can feel, because you and Kate are having so much fun together. I can tell you were so amused watching the boys do karaoke.
Oh
like,
that was hysterical.
It's so funny, them dancing. I die.
Well, the cutting back and forth, I honestly, I loved it. It was so fun. But all I could think of was, if I have never seen this show and I walked into a room and someone was watching this, the cutting back and forth between the guys in the club and then the little kids, I would just be like, what are you watching? This is so weird. But fortunately, we do know it, and it was really fun.
I loved it. And I loved that they did little things, like they had the little boys. I was about to just be like, the little boys and the big boys.
The big boys, little boys.
I like that they had them doing some of the same choreography. Like, I just couldn't stop laughing. I was like, they're boys forever.
James commits so hard.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who was that guy on stage. Y'all, listen, we spent the better part of our 20s singing karaoke in Wilmington, right?
Yeah.
And you know who never came?
Never, not once.
James Lafferty. Never.
Nope.
And
Hard
he's
pass.
all in this scene. Hilarious. The dance
So funny.
moves.
Yeah.
Who was that guy?
No, it was so good.
He's never met a challenge, he said, like a reasonable challenge that he said no to. I mean, I think they just knew they could write him anything and he'd do it.
And what I also really like is you get to see, like, we see James and Steven's friendship so clearly in this episode and the way they egg each other on. And you're like, well, yeah, of course they went and made Everybody's Doing Great. Like, of course they're business partners. Look at them.
Yeah.
Like, they in this episode gave me a lot of, like, Brooke and Peyton and their lifelong thing energy. And that's like a big thing to create between two characters that are newer friends on screen. And it's sweet.
Nathan like doesn't have friends. Is Chase like his first friend? I'm just realizing this. Wait, who does Nathan hang out with? I mean, he hangs out with
Like, he has to hang out with Lucas.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's always just Nathan and Lucas, but Lucas has friends. All of his River Court, all of our fabulous River Court.
I was going to say, like, the bromance in this episode, I really responded to, and I thought it was. I liked seeing the little boys and the big boys because I think, you know, we've had conversations about toxic masculinity. I think at a certain point, little boys are allowed to have really close friendships, and it's adorable, and we applaud it, and they share their feelings with each other, and it's so special. And then at some point, they're made to feel weird about that.
Yeah.
And so they bottle stuff up, and they don't do like silly shit together anymore. And so they start drinking because the only time you can like hug and kiss on your bro and like tell him your feelings is when you're like 6 beers in. And that's awful. And so seeing these boys play together was so sweet. And I like that our show did that. I thought I thought Chad did a really good job directing that.
Yeah.
Because Chad has boys. Chad like has friends in real life, like freaking Jason.
He grew up in a family of boys, right?
And he has one sister, right? Like,
yeah.
Chad had people from home that he could draw on this kind of experience with because Chad's a goober too. So I like that he directed just like silly boy time. Silly boy time's my favorite kind of boy time.
Totally agree. And you're right. It's like, I mean, that big article that came out last year, like near the end of the year, talking about this epidemic of loneliness in men and like what it's doing to society. It is heartbreaking. And I think what a wild thing to watch this episode. And obviously none of us remembered this karaoke thing until we saw it. But like, how nice that we got to model a playful male friendship. Like, I want more of that.
Yeah.
I want to see more of this. I hope that through the rest of the season, we get more of these two.
I think we do, don't we?
I don't know.
Don't they become like, maybe they
Well,
do.
we know they did in real life. So if you're looking for that wish fulfillment.
Go watch Everyone's Doing Great. It's so fucking funny. I love that show, actually.
It's great.
It's really good.
And I really also like in the structure of this double date, getting to see them having fun, getting to see you giving Mia advice, and then getting to see this budding crush between Chase and Mia. Ooh, although it really made me laugh because I was like, wow, everybody's just dating everybody's exes, which like,
yes.
LOL.
Yes.
But Peyton is with Brooke's ex, and now Brooke is about to be with Peyton's ex, and now Mia is with Brooke's ex, and Millie's with Brooke's other ex, and I'm just like, Jesus.
Haley's with Peyton's ex.
You're right. Haley's with Peyton's ex. It's just all...
Okay, Mia coming through the slow-mo of her in the Jessica Rabbit top with the...
machine.
Oh my God, so good. So good.
Her in the black bandage dress was full Sandra Bullock in the lilac dress in Miss Congeniality,
100%.
slow-mo hair. Loved it.
Yeah.
I have it in my notes all in caps. I'm obsessed.
I was obsessed with her haircut in this episode. And I like the scene kids back then all had the same haircut. It was that super shag with the like swoop bangs across the forehead. And I have been seeing all these people on, like social media point out that the girls with the wolf cut now are just the spawn of the swoop cuts because it's the same exact haircut, just split down the middle.
Wolf cut? Is that what something is called? I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. It's Kate's haircut just split down the middle. And I'm obsessed with it.
Oh, yeah, it's a shag.
It's an emo haircut. But put those bangs to the side, Joy, and what do you see?
Boom. The Rachel?
Yeah. It's Mia. She had that cool girl haircut. And did they kiss in real life, Stephen and Kate? Because
I don't think so. I mean, great chemistry.
They sold it.
They had great chemistry.
She still was pretty young, right?
She was 20. The playfulness, I liked that while the little boys wanted to play card games and they wanted to be very grown up, the big boys wanted to play arcade games. And that's just so true. Remember, what was the name of that arcade that was in Wilmington that we would go to?
Oh, yeah, the one on Military Cutoff near the
They had pickled eggs.
Near the pizza place.
No, not Jungle Rapids.
No,
there was a place off of Market Street over by like the movie theater. Guys, we're talking about some old school Wilmington lore. It was an arcade and Joy made me sing karaoke there. And I sang first and was real shitty. We were singing Shania Twain. And then she got up and was like, he hit a man of mine. And I was like, God damn it. You
have a great voice. I loved when you sang at the rap party. I actually really enjoy your voice. I wish that you would sing more. Like country western, like Tammy Wynette kind of stuff, right?
Just sad shit.
Do your kids like it when you sing?
Depends. Yeah. Gus likes Broadway radio, so he probably is like more into it. George is like, Christ, woman, please, killing me.
Yeah, because Maria tells me to shut up all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Moms are
Could you
cool.
stop? Please stop.
Well, she hasn't heard you sing Shania Twain karaoke.
She
I feel like
doesn't
that
want to.
Carrie Underwood song had no idea what it could sound like. But yeah, the arcade thing with boys, they like being little. They like just being, that's their big night out. Nathan's got one weekend off of practice. He's like, I know what I want to do. I want to play games.
I love it.
And make the baskets for Chase.
That was so cute. What a cute little moment. And that's the thing. Like, I kept noting as I was watching all this stuff that I wish we'd had more of this. Like, even when we cut into Trick, the guy who was singing.
That's Tyler Easter.
Is it? I was like, do we know him? He looks familiar to me.
They ripped this shit straight from our real life because when we were doing karaoke, we did it at level 5, but then karaoke moved over to Yosaki, which my best friend Nick was working at. And the karaoke nights there, that's where I met Tyler. And he and I would get up and sing like Ain't No Mountain High Enough together. And so when he popped on screen here, I was like, oh my God, they got our real karaoke buddy to come and do this.
Incredible. And his voice was so good and everyone was having fun. And I was like, wait a second, why weren't we doing like an episode every quarter of karaoke night? Just every couple of weeks, a few scenes. It's so fun.
It feels vital to my emotional development during that phase in our life. Like karaoke was such a cathartic thing. I remember being in love with someone who wasn't in love with me and singing that Ace of Base song, Don't Turn Around, because you're going to see
I die.
Girl, karaoke solves everything.
It's such a place to just put your feelings.
Yeah, what is the most revealing karaoke song you've ever sung in public?
Oh my God. I can't. I'm cringing right now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What did you do?
Oh my God. I'm sweating. I'm immediately sweating. I was in love with this boy, man, whatever. He was a man child, so I guess both work.
Yeah. But mannish. Yeah.
Oh God. So desperately in love with him. And guys, I'm sweating. I was late. It was late at a dive bar, and I don't drink a lot, but I just went for it. And I put on, we were like on again, off again. And we were off again at this particular moment. But I really wanted us to get back together. And so I got up there at this old Irish dive bar in the valley and sang And I Am Telling You.
Stop! From Dreamgirls? Joy, no.
And when I say the word sang, I really mean...
Shouted?
Shouted, struggled. I know, see, Hilary's completely covered in this.
Are you kidding me?
Maybe the most embarrassing moment of my life. And for most of the song, he was at the bar talking to his friend and kept looking over at me.
Oh, dear God.
That's the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Oh, God.
You guys should Google that. You should Google that. Joy, no. I'm so glad you're not with that person.
No, me too.
Who would agree? Oh, God, no. You should never have that feeling.
And whoever the friends were that went with me that did not grab me and pull me
great.
off
No.
the stage.
No.
I don't ever want to think about that ever again. Okay, I've said it. Let's not talk about it anymore.
That's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow. I am proud of you for just unloading that. Yeah.
Put it all out there, you know?
You know, you should sing like a real belter just like once in your life just to know that you can. Just to know that you can get in front of a group of people. Sophia, what's your cringe karaoke?
I don't really do karaoke.
I'm trying, like in my brain, I remember you always being up front and cheering for people. Yeah.
I love it. But I think I could probably count the number of times in my life I've done karaoke on one hand. It's not really my thing. Although, you know, I'll be a good sport. But if I'm going to get up there, I want to do Old Biggie or shock everyone and sing like Gretchen Wilson because nobody thinks I'm going to sing country music. I don't. I have a very low register. I my voice is more of a bass speaker.
You know what you would be great at? Like some Eartha Kitt. Like I want to be evil. That's the vibe.
Sure.
Yeah. Eartha Kitt, Lilac Wine. Ooh.
All right.
No, well, so what you're saying is that there's still time for you to embarrass yourself. Joy and I have already checked that box.
Yeah. Guys, I've done plenty of shit to embarrass myself, even if it's not singing.
I loved it.
There is definitely a picture of us doing karaoke one night with Daniil. Yeah. And we're all clearly 3 sheets to the wind. So... You know, we've all been there. You get bold when you're on your 5th tequila and you're like, I can do it.
Oh my God. And I love that they had Cullen running it. They had Junk.
Incredible.
Running it because he's who introduced us to karaoke in Wilmington. He was the person that took me to Level 5 for the first time. And we had a karaoke party with Antoine at one of our conventions a few years ago. And Cullen got up and sang some Johnny Cash, and it was like, ooh, okay, Daddy, what are you doing? Yeah, he's a fun time. I just love that, you're seeing our characters having fun. Mm-hmm. No one's in peril. Everyone's just like, I'm going to lean into my age tonight. I'm going to be exactly my age tonight.
There is a little peril. It's just not happening with us.
Well, then it doesn't matter. No. Oh, Millie.
No.
Millie.
Guys, I don't like it.
I don't like being mad at Mouth.
I don't like being mad at Mouth either. And it's really hard because Mouth is so great and Lee Norris is such a good guy. But this possessiveness over a woman and her body, it feels very 4chan to me.
Incel culture? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's very incel adjacent. And I really hate that they made Sweet Lee Norris do it. I'm like, But I will say I was glad that Brooke went to be there for him and also told him he was being really inappropriate.
Yeah.
But even the dialogue they wrote for me really
wasn't enough.
It was like, she can only get one of them back. It's like, ew. Ew. I hated what they made him say. I really didn't like what they made me say. I loved that they gave Lisa the great statement of like, my virginity belonged to me.
Yes.
It didn't belong to you.
Yes.
But then they had him like mope back at her, but you did. I'm like, ew.
No, still wrong. Still
wrong. Didn't like it.
I'm just trying to figure out the motivation of what is Mouth's deal anyway? Like, why is he so, what's the deal?
I just liked that he happened to have a headshot of Owen lying around
The
his
slam ball
apartment.
photo.
The slam ball headshot. That was, the second I saw the dartboard, all I could think is, where'd that picture come from? Why do you have that picture? Like, Mouth, what are you really jealous about right now? That's the kind of stuff that as a viewer is so distracting to me. Because I'm just like, where'd it come from? He didn't print it off the internet. And if he did, that's even weirder.
He just sits there and waits for his little printer just to print out this photo of Owen.
That's the scene I really wanted to see in this episode.
He printed it out.
Oh, God.
That's awesome. I'm going to get that Owen. I'm going to print his picture out. I'm going to poke some holes in it. Cool.
Oh, God.
Well, he did say he's been coming straight home after work, just sitting there. And maybe if he had done that in the first place, instead of hanging out with Gigi till late, we wouldn't be in this
her
mess.
Underwear on his desk.
See, Mouth, you're perfectly capable of coming home after work.
Okay, here's what I appreciated about where Millie was at. As hard as it was to see her so upset about something that really, like, she doesn't owe Brooke anything in that regard. Like, I don't think Brooke and Owen slept together. I mean, I get that it's a little awkward because it was an ex, but I mean, in this town, like, who does that really? What's our standard?
It was like barely an ex. Like, barely.
Yeah. You know, I know it was rough with Mouth, but they could have gone the other direction where Millie was refusing to, I don't know. She was like, no, I'm not going to feel bad for this. I'm not. And she would have been within her rights to do that. But what I liked about it was the soft heart, the humanity of like when you make a mistake and you just feel really bad that you hurt people that you love. And she's living into that instead of doubling down on the like, no, I'm right. I just thought that was so lovely. And something I don't know if we see a lot on the show. So I don't know. That struck me as something nice to take away from it. But I am looking forward to seeing her climb out of this hole and realize that she's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that she wasn't deceptive. Like,
Yeah,
Peyton
it's
would have
good.
been like, Owen? What Owen? I don't know an Owen. What are you guys talking about? Definitely still a virgin. Anyway, everything's fine. You know, Peyton would have lied. She just would have fucking lied. And Millie, God bless her, is like, hey, Mouth, I f***ed Owen. Brooke, I need you to know I slept with Owen. You know? Like, what a nice gal. Just
Truly.
laying it out.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm still like mad that we're not seeing Owen. Like, I want to see some awkwardness. I want to see them run into each other at the gas station, you know?
Yeah, where is he? Is he on True Blood now?
True Blood, yeah. Just being famous.
Fighting vampires. Why is Lee's hair still red?
He must have been working on a movie.
Did they dye it for the 40s episode and then it wouldn't come out?
Maybe. And the way that they color timed our show, too, at this point, everything turned up a little red anyway. So it all seems a little odd.
I miss the blue. I miss the blue years.
Not to jump around too much, but this moment with Sam on the bench.
I was just looking at that note.
I hold my own hand.
Oh,
Broke my heart.
broke mine, too.
We do that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I love that as a kid, you're so vulnerable. It's easy to just like, I'm just going to hold my own hand. It's really sweet. I think as an adult, I wouldn't do that because I would second guess myself and laugh at myself. That's so ridiculous. But the innocence of a kid just being like, I just kind of hold my own hand and imagine and dream and hope one day it'll be better.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
Yeah, it's really nice to see this vulnerability with them. And one of the things I really appreciate, because we would lose so much of the air, you know, so many of the pauses to the edit to make sure that the show fit in 43 minutes. And they kept a lot of the awkward pauses between Sam and Jack.
Yeah.
And they were so important because these are two kids dealing with such big, hard things. They don't have all the answers. And I was really glad that those scenes had just quiet air in them.
Yeah.
It felt like they were on a different show a little bit because our characters also dealt with abusive family members. You know, Nathan and Lucas were dealing with Dan, who was physically abusive with them. You know, there's like murders happening. Our characters as teenagers dealt with crazy shit. And like CPS never turned up. No one was ever in hiding, you know. We did zany things like get emancipated. And instead, these kids are dealing with like something that feels more real. It feels more grounded in like what the real world actually is. And so that juxtaposition between what our characters lived and then what these kids are experiencing is nice. It's almost like somebody got a wake up call between when we were the teenagers and when these teenagers popped up. And it's like, no, it's scary out there and it's a lot. And these are real little kids. Whereas we were supposed to be like sexy, you know, smart kids that could game the system. You know? I don't know. It just felt different. It felt like a different show.
Yeah, it's nice to bring back this struggle.
I like their show. Like their show feels
more like season 1.
Yeah. Yeah. It also just feels like somebody joined our staff who had maybe been through the system or who had been through a situation. And I don't know what the reality of that is. I just know it feels way more grounded than when we were kids and people were just coming and going through our front door willy-nilly. You know, they're hiding out on park benches under the bridge.
Well, and I like too that, you know, Sam's trying to come up with solutions, but she's still just a kid and she doesn't have any. You know, she says she'll talk to Brooke and he's like, no, don't do that. You know, neither of them's quite ready to really risk it, but they want to, but they're scared to. It just feels so alive and like you feel their fear, you feel how stuck they are. And I just think it's really, even though it's such a unique situation, it does feel really relatable.
Yeah. Was this the first episode that Chad had directed, like, of TV ever?
I think so.
What? It was great.
It was great. Yeah. Really nice.
Good for slow clap for Chad. Good job. I mean, there were such big moments and like little moments and that balance of like serious and frivolous and right on. That's a hard thing to do, especially when you know your writer wrote the script in 2 days and was sick and just like, hey man.
It's just such a good script though.
It's a great script. Yeah.
It's kind of a filler episode. I mean, there's a few things that moved forward, obviously. With Peyton's pregnancy, that was a really big central focused moment. But other than that, most of it felt, Brooke and Julian. Yeah, it was like everything was moving forward a little bit, but it wasn't a big catastrophe or lots of struggle or whatever. It was nice to just kind of relax a little and just enjoy watching the characters.
Everybody was kissing. Everybody's having a great time with their partner.
I like seeing you guys be happy. That was fun.
Just mental break. That's what we all needed. Just a nice mental break. I had so much fun with Chad on this episode because he felt good, like directing. He'd just written that flashback episode. Now he's directing. Like it felt like there was some momentum. And when you've been on a show this long and you've just been doing the same thing over and over again and no one trusts you to do more, that feels shitty. And so he was being trusted to do more. You guys were on deck to direct. Like it felt like there was some momentum.
Yeah.
And being with little kids is my sweet spot. I like kids. I like them when they're shitty little kids. I like them when they're shitty middle schoolers. And I love them when they're like lippy high schoolers. I like kids. So this was easy. This was super fun.
The kid-like play that we felt in this episode. What was your favorite age as a child?
It's so weird having it's so weird having having kids who are ages that I remember, because I don't remember being a toddler. Like, so when my kids were toddlers, it was like, oh my God, this is brand new and this is so like so me. Weird cool. having. But now that they're ages that I have vivid memories, it drums up a lot of like old stuff. And I think my teenage years, when I had some freedom and I could get out of my house and go live in my friends' basements and things. And really, like, we would make movies that I still have, you know, and we would have slumber parties like every weekend. And like, really, like, we would make movies that I still have. You know. 14 to graduation was not easy at all. There was some really heinous 14 to graduation, but the friendships that I made then, I still have now. And we still like to have sleepovers and lay on top of each other and eat brownies and watch pageants and Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. You know, like it's, I don't know. That's a fun thing to lean back on. At all, there was some really heinous.
I think I would say the same, because it was in that same sort of grouping of years that I started doing theater and like the after school theater programs. And I think I would say the same, because finding it was in that art and voice and all the laughter we had and like the costumes we were making. Same sort of grouping of and likewise the ability that I started doing gave me to get out of my own world and my own identity, I think was really important.
Yeah.
What about you, Joy?
Yeah, same for me. I think sophomore year probably specifically, but which I was 15, I guess, right? Sophomore?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, freshman year was kind of hard, but yeah, overall that same time frame when you're specifically, but that precious age between 12 and 15, when you're figuring out who you are and you stop looking at your life through the lens of your parents' perspective. You stop looking at everything in relation to all the things that you're bound to as a result of just being in someone else's home. I mean, it's your home, but you know, somebody else's rules. And to be able to just choose to see things your own way and have your own opinion, and have a right to your own opinion and your own space. And you're still, you know, you still have some rules you have to follow, but you get to explore more. It's such an amazing time of awakening into who you are. So yeah, I really did love that time. There was just so much to discover, and discovery is the most fun.
Well, remember that feeling of starting to spend a lot of time in other people's houses and figuring out who you were to their mothers, who you were to their siblings.
Well, and how they lived their life too, which is so different than, it's always different. What they kept in their fridge. Were you allowed to just go to the fridge and open it up? Or was their mom like, you need to ask? You know, when you sleep over, are you all piled on each other in the basement? Or is there like guest rooms? Or,
oh my God, my friend Maureen. This is my favorite. My friend Maureen, who's met a bunch of the cast because she came to our like big Christmas special we did for Lifetime. She threw a sleepover once and then was like, all right, guys, well, I'm going to go to bed now. So I'll see you in the morning. And she went to her room and we all stayed in the basement. And I know Maureen listens to the show from time to time. So I just want to say that was one of my favorite sleepovers ever, because I thought it was hilarious and such like big dick energy. Like, okay, I'll see you guys in the morning.
I have a bed. Good luck.
It's comfortable. Bye.
Core memories, you guys.
Let's spin a wheel.
Yeah, when do we get James Vanderbeek back?
Ooh, let's bring him on the show.
Does he?
Most likely to pass out on a roller coaster or a slingshot.
Oh,
God. I don't know.
Okay, on the show, character.
I feel like skills.
Or junk.
Yeah, it's junk. Yeah. He's a big talker. He'd be the one in line like, yeah, I've ridden this ride like 17 times.
Yeah.
We haven't had Colin on.
He's got to come and play with us.
Oh, yeah.
Who in real life?
I love roller coasters. It's not me. Mm-hmm.
Who would like legitimately pass out on a roller coaster?
Watching all of our faces right now, I just hear the Jeopardy music.
I do too.
Ding, 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 ding.
I am racking my brain.
Do you guys think James does roller coasters?
Wait, have we found James Lafferty's kryptonite? He can do anything. The man that can do karaoke, he can get hit by cars.
Oh, well, here's why I think it, because James is very measured. He likes to have, I don't use the word control in a negative sense. He just likes to have control over the situation, the environment, not over it, but he likes to feel solid in the choices he's making and where he is and what's going on. And I think unpredictability doesn't seem to be something that's fun for him in particular. That's what I remember anyway. I don't hang a lot out with James anymore, so maybe that's changed, but I don't know. So it feels to me like maybe it would be unnatural for him. It'd be unnatural for him to be on roller coasters.
Yeah, it's definitely like a boy. It's definitely a boy. Because girls are so used to like pain and suffering and like, impulsive stuff. Like we're just used to the world flipping us upside down.
Yeah, we're expected to roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah, they struggle.
Ooh. Gross. Listen, if someone can get James Lafferty on a roller coaster, we want video proof. We don't believe it.
Let's call Coletti.
Yeah. Honestly, though, like roller coasters and slingshots are two different things. I'll roller coaster all damn day.
Yeah.
That slingshot thing?
No.
Honey, no.
That just feels like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
It doesn't seem fun. I'm not going to stand in line for that. Come on. All right, so season 6, episode 15, we change, we wait. Do we change? I don't know. We all still want to be 14, so we're not the right people to ask.
We all just want to go to karaoke.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Hey, thanks for listening.
Don't forget to leave us a review. You can also follow us on Instagram at Drama Queens OTH.
Or email us at dramaqueens@iheartradio.com. See you next time.
We're all about that high school drama girl, all about them high school queens. We'll take you for a ride in our comic girl,
Drama girl.
cheering for the right team. Drama queens, smart girl, rough girl, fashion but you're tough girl. You could sit with us, girl. Drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens.